Hi Kashish, thanks for getting on the call.
Hey Raghav,
And
no problem.
as you know, I'm trying to build like a fitness app. And
Yeah,
so far in the journey, this is just a placeholder name that I was thinking of.
yeah,
But essentially, what I'm trying to do is I'm fetching data from Apple's Health Kit, uh,
right.
primarily, which includes your active energy burned. And I
Yeah,
can basically collect users' past data till since whenever they started their Apple
right.
Fitness journey.
Correct.
And
Okay,
initially, I
got
was thinking of building on to either one of these three themes. First is fitness tree. So
it.
throughout
Okay.
the day, this could animate and progress into a full tree. This is just something that ChatGPT created,
Yeah,
so it's not that good. A second was
make
something like a fitness mountain
right,
where checkpoints are representing specific portions of the daily fitness goal,
right.
25%, 50%, 100%. Third
Yeah,
was another thing that ChatGPT suggested. Initially, I liked this idea, but now I don't think I'm feeling it that much. So this is basically a weather-themed fitness app. So initially, you'll start off with a very cloudy weather pattern in the app
yeah. Mm.
visually, and
ठीक है.
as you progress through the day, the day will get clearer, the sun will get brighter, the rainbow will get brighter, stuff like that.
Got it. Yeah, I think
So,
that's a little too confusing because
hmm,
if people like look at the app, they'll immediately think it's a weather app.
right. So
So that's
fitness
a
is
little
what
too ambiguous.
mountain is what I wanted to go with,
Yeah, yeah,
and uh, the the idea is this would be the homepage, which would just track
right.
your day's fitness, and
Yeah.
there would be a second tab which would contain your challenges. So
Okay, yeah.
for challenges, what I want to do is I've curated like a top 100 climbable mountain list.
Right.
And what I'm doing is in the ascending order, you can start the challenges. So, for example, this one, Mount
Yeah.
Mansfield, this is
Mm.
1300 meters to climb. So, I wanna wait, I have a CSV file as well. So, in this, I'm
Okay.
creating like a basic information about that particular mountain
Right.
and its estimated round trip distance and the number of estimated calories that someone would burn climbing that mountain.
Right.
So once you start
Okay,
that
yeah, makes sense.
challenge, in the app, this would show up on your home page, and we
Right.
will be showing the progress through this particular mountain. And in
Yeah.
the end of the challenge, if you
Using
can
that,
complete it on time, yeah, we are using users' health app data. So any workout
yeah.
that you do is recorded into the health app. We're fetching the data
Right.
from that, and we are giving
Right.
a timeline that, for example, if this takes 800 calories can be done in like a single day's workout.
Right.
So once you complete that, you would earn a plaque or a image or some 3D asset or something for this
Got
particular
it.
mountain.
Yeah.
And the challenges will get progressively more difficult and will also start to
Okay.
increase the timeline because some of these go till like 18,000 calories. So 18,000
Yeah,
calories,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think we would need at least 2 or 3 weeks to complete that.
True. Yes. So this is
So
around mountains only, or is it like the equivalent distance in on like flat land as well? Or do you have to be on that mountain?
you don't have to be on that mountain. So the mountain
Right, right,
only
right.
represents the fitness
Yeah, so
challenge.
it's exactly. Yeah, so it's figurative, and it's the name of the mountain is just the name of the challenge, and not
Correct.
it's
So
not
we are
a
using
trekking app.
it's not a
Yeah,
trekking app. We are using the actual
yeah,
distance that it would take to climb that mountain. And we are
yeah.
also factoring in for the actual elevation of the mountain. So calories are
Right, right.
represented by those two factors.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not a
So
trekking
I
app.
think the first thing would be uh, so do you have to like burn those calories in the distance you have specified? Or is it like two separate goals you have to hit to like finish the challenge?
So you only have to burn the calories, not the actual distance. The workout could be
Okay.
anything. So workout could be
Right.
your strength training, anything. So we are just calculating your active burned
Okay.
calories for that day
Mhm.
or for that specific time period,
Right.
and you can complete that in the span of one day or for a quick challenge, or like as
Yeah.
the
So
challenges
you
get
have like a
progressively harder.
okay, okay. So you have like a timeline, and then you have like a calorie goal, and you have to hit that
Yes,
calorie goal in that timeline. That
yes,
is a challenge, and it
correct.
has no, yeah, okay. So it's not the name of the mountain is like very much just a name.
Just a name. Yes,
Got it. Okay. And the form of exercise could be anything of your choice
anything,
also.
anything. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So initially, I was thinking. So obviously, we will have to create like a database for the mountains
Yeah.
data. Also, I'm thinking of including like general trivia for that particular mountain, because there are
Right.
what the people I'm targeting is like fitness enthusiasts who are also like nerds about mountain climbing and trekking.
Right. Makes sense.
So I'll include like general trivia about that mountain along the way. And
Okay.
initially I was thinking of uh maybe adding images. That's one for each
Right.
of the mountain,
Mhm.
but
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure about that. Second
Uh,
was I can
I think an
probably.
image definitely makes sense for the tile. Again, like just my immediate idea was if you want to do like trivia, that could be shown in this way. Like if someone starts the challenge,
Hmm,
their home screen shows that particular like mountain's name and all the related data and your like actual like tracking numbers and stuff. And then you have like a tooltip that shows up every now and then, every time you like check it again, and that
hmm.
shows says like a few lines about the thing. That's like my
Yes.
immediate thought.
Yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
general trivia about the mountain would work
Yeah, exactly.
like
So
that.
it's not just because they'll be just checking it to track their progress, and they also have like a small
They have
tooltip
something
that says,
else.
okay, do
Correct.
you know this also? Yeah. So that kind of like that.
So kind of like that, but in the page, I think only showing an image. I'm not
Right.
sure if that would work as like a good design. So what I was thinking is for
Mm-hmm.
every particular mountain, we could search for its images, and if
Yeah.
I could create like a silhouette of those edges of those particular mountain, just that shape,
Right.
if I could code that up for each of the mountain, and then
Yeah.
I could show like a progress bar going along the edge
Mm-hmm.
of the mountain to
Right.
show
Right.
progress.
That's good. The only issue is like because it'll be very much limited to like the kind of photos that you can find
Hmm.
because smaller mountains. Again, there's a lot of like ambiguities still because you might find just the photos of the trail itself and not the whole silhouette of the mountain. So that might be like a difficult thing to solve.
Mhm.
Another idea that I also like just came up with was you can maybe use topographical maps, right? The ones with like which have like lines to show like elevations.
Hmm.
Maybe show like actual map of like the top actual like elevations with those like rings and all. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not sure what they're exactly called, but
Right.
yeah,
So I think I
kind
was,
of kind of like the satellite view wala maps, and
hmm,
then you can actually show the path. That
yeah,
might even be easier to do.
I
Yeah,
was doing some research, and I think it's called GIS mapping.
yeah. I think that yeah, I've heard the name.
Yeah, I think that's probably something I can look into. Uh,
Yeah.
Another thing
Mhm.
that I thought would be like a nice, quick, simple implement was to like if I can directly use Apple Maps for this. So if I
Yeah,
just
that
search
also.
for Mount Everest and turn on 3D, so this could appear like a 3D app, 3D resource at the
Yeah,
homepage,
yeah.
and people
Mhm.
can
Right, right,
like
right.
move around this and explore it, spin it around.
Yeah, this could be actually cool, and you can even like show it from like a very low angle view and where it actually shows the silhouette, and you're just like
Yeah,
rotating around the thing. That could be
right.
kind of cool.
And I think one good thing about Apple Maps is that you can actually create these
Yeah,
rotating animations using code.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So that is another thing that I can explore.
yeah.
Uh, Apart from that, I was just thinking to like look up 3D models of mountains on like Sketchfab or something.
Right.
I found one resource. Let me see if I can find that again. Sorry.
I think
Mountain.
yeah, on like Sketchfab, at least you might just find very generic looking mountains.
Hmm.
You also, it's not it, again, like it might be difficult to get like every single mountain scanned
So I found like
because
a collection of mountains, and it had like
right,
about 50 mountains,
right,
including the top peaks: Kilimanjaro, Mount Everest, K2,
okay,
Annapurna.
makes sense. Got
So
it.
maybe that is something I can invest into. I think it was about 400 or $500.
Oh yeah, that's like one possibility. And another thing I can like recommend is I think NASA has like elevation data of like the entire Earth. So
Okay.
if you're okay with not having textures and just having like the model,
Hmm.
which you can that could be another like cool sort of look where you have like white color mountain with like
Hmm.
some very minimalistic looking lighting.
Hmm.
So it doesn't look like it's like actually like the real mountain, but it's very stylized and it's very minimalistic, and it can also like tie together well with your like own app. So that is
Okay.
another thing you can look into. So these are maps. I think these are textures, and
Hmm.
these could be like very huge files. So they can go like upwards of 32K also, which is I think very high detailed. But
Okay.
I believe there was a service where you can just like pick like a area on
Hmm.
the Earth surface, and you can get the elevation data from that particular area.
Okay.
I'm really not sure what that's called, but we can look into
Interesting.
that service.
Nice.
Yeah. So the way it
Yeah.
works is basically you create a grid mesh, basically like a square mesh with like a lot of vertices on this,
Hmm.
and then for every a point or every vertex, you sample that texture and elevate it based on the data it has on in the image. So if you quickly
I
Google
see.
height map, uh, you'll see some images. You'll see what I mean.
Height
Yeah,
maps.
height map. Go to images. Yeah, this
Got it.
black and white map is what you're looking for. Yeah, look at
Okay.
the
Got
second
it.
one. It's of a mountain range only. So for every pixel in this image, you sample it and you kind of like elevate a vertex of a mesh to
Hmm.
that height. So it basically becomes a mountain, and then you can color it whatever you want, and even like make
Interesting.
lights. Yeah, you won't have the color data, but you'll have the actual elevation of that mountain.
So is there a way to automate this if I can find all the 100 images of
I
100 mountains?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I believe there is an API which lets you like specify just the coordinates, and it will just give you like that general area ka height map.
Hmm.
But I'm not really forgetting the name of that. I
Okay.
think it's OpenStreetMaps is one service like that. Again, really not sure.
Okay. I think that's something I can look.
Yeah. So OpenStreetMaps is like again open source data for like this geographical things only.
Hmm.
I believe they provide the height information. Oh yeah, they also have that topographical view as well.
This is the topographical one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think this is not the height information. Again, like really not sure, but I think they had a API which lets you like get
Hmm.
the height information.
I think the idea is to not
Yeah,
exactly have the most accurate data, but something
yeah,
that looks visually appealing. So for
right.
example, like
So
a
if
3D
that is
model
the
that,
goal, then Yeah, yeah, exactly. So if that is the goal, we can definitely like buy a pack which just has like some generic mountains we can use. So yeah, for example, this one. We might have to optimize this mesh though because this looks very dense.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 71 MB. So
so we'll have to
yeah,
reduce the number
we'll
of
have to like
triangles or something, right?
yeah, triangles and like also shrink the texture sizes. I'm pretty sure this is like 4K textures, so which is like very excessive, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not a difficult thing to do. You can easily do that in Blender.
Also, I'm thinking after the user have completed the challenge,
Yeah.
should we, so like Apple does medals, should we create something like that?
Yeah, I think medals like these are great. Also, the ones that Apple gives you, there's that fitness wala thing, na?
Right.
Those also have like a very nice design. So something like that in 3D maybe. Or if we really wanna keep it on brand, what do like actual hikers get? If we can like have some sort of like relatability there.
Actual
Or you can
hikers
even
get.
like actually have flags, that you can, just kind of metaphorically place on that mountain that you conquered.
Oh,
How about that?
that's very interesting.
Yeah. So it could be like a custom logo that you create or something which is there on that exact flag. So
Mhm.
every time you finish a challenge, you kind of like collect those flags. It could be either like the user has their own logo that gets placed on the flag, or it could be like every single challenge has its own logo. So you basically collect all these flags.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting.
Yeah, because again, it will tie really well with the theme that you have going on.
Yeah, I think this is something really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, so Google has this thing called Elevation API, by the way. I just looked it up. This looks like something that we want, I guess.
Google
So
elevation.
basically, yeah, it has to do with Google Maps only, but it gives you the elevation data for some certain area.
Mhm. Oh, so you basically give it the lat long and it
I
will
think
give
the
you the
yeah
elevation.
elevation for that specific point, but I'm not sure how you can make a texture out of it
Yeah,
because you might require like uh at
yeah, we'll
least
have
like
to
a
call. We'll have
yeah
to
two
call
million
many
calls on this.
points. Yeah,
Yeah, many
yeah,
points, at least 2 million for like a 1080p texture. So
yeah. I don't think we can do that.
yeah. There should be one for like images also. I'll have to actually look into it. There is an open elevation API as well, open source version of that.
Yeah, but I don't think
Again,
elevation
another
would
thing
really
that
help us.
we can look into. Yeah.
But I think as a placeholder, I could probably get started with like Apple Maps.
Yeah, sure. I found this one web tool also. You wanna check it out?
What is it
I
called?
sent you on Discord. It's a web-based tool that lets you do the whole height map thing. Again, I know we are not looking into it, but it's another like interesting thing. I'll just open it in Safari. So yeah, this basically you can zoom in on any part of the Earth and you get the
Hmm.
height data,
Oh,
and you can even export it as PNG. You have like some settings on the right.
okay. So whatever it sees uh, on the window, it gives me the max and the minimum elevation for that. And
Yeah, I'll actually show you how the height maps work. Let me just share my screen. And I know we might not need this, but it's a good to know thing. Let me start recording. Yeah, now I should show my browser. Is there an option to save your export? So I just downloaded this height map. I'll show you how to do this in Blender. So let me just quickly check what the resolution is. It's horizontal only, so 1920 I believe. And this is like the map that I have, right? So I'll create like a plane, which is basically like four vertices and four edges in one single face. I scale it to the aspect ratio that my image is, so 16:9. So it can be 1.6 meters wide, 0.8 meters tall, right? Sorry, 0.9, 16:9 it is, right? And then I give it like more resolution, so I need more faces. I'll quickly like add cuts to this. Again, this is a very basic mesh. I am not doing anything like fancy. This kind of gave me like even looking squares, right? And I can subdivide it even more now, which is again like you're just adding more cuts to it. I'll add another few like cuts or a few more layers of like subdivisions. And then what I'll do is I'll add the displace modifier. So what displace does is it takes like an image texture, basically what I explained to you before this. So I'll just actually open the image. Okay. So I have this map, right? So it will sample. I have this UV coordinates as well. So for example, at this point, whatever my texture says for that pixel, it will sample that. So for example, if it's 0, it will keep the height of that particular vertex at 0 only, and for other ones, it will just keep on like raising them. A very like basic stuff. So I'll select this image. One second. New texture I'll load and then open that image again. So this is how it gave me, and I can also like control how much how much I wanna actually like raise it. So I can lower down the actual maximum height to make it creative. This again like all this all is like creative process, so you can tweak it however you want. And for the shading, we don't have any color data right now, so you can get creative and just give it like a white texture of sorts. That also looks good, and on a white background, it will also like look very minimalistic and kind of modern looking, I guess. I can
yeah,
rotate it around and show. And you can
yeah,
even like
no,
have
it's
some
also
sort
very
of
good.
yeah, and you can have like some sort of UI going on with your accent color, and that might look really cool. It will also like stand out on top of this like white mountain. So this is what I meant
Nice.
with that I think. Yeah.
So I directly export this to a USB file and bring it
Yeah,
onto the
that
app.
you can do. You don't even have to actually export a USD. You can on the fly if you have some sort of some API which gives you this texture, you can on the fly create like a mesh which you can just elevate using that texture.
Got it. So for me,
Yeah.
find an API which speed reader.
Height map.
So for height map, I think I can just use
You can just use
this
this. I
website.
think you can reverse engineer this tool which API is using to get this data, and
Yeah,
yeah,
so
you can basically
I have a limited number of mountains, right? And during
right,
the launch, I need to launch this before 18th of September. So I'll just
yeah.
manually get this
Yeah, I think
data.
as a proof of concept you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you can even use this tool. So this is pretty handy. You can just hit export and you'll get the data.
yes. So I can get this data from this tool. Uh,
Yeah,
but
this
is
data will
there
be
a,
basically like images. Yeah.
this would be images. Is there a way I can automate the process of creating the 3D assets from Blender?
Um, I can do that. I mean, if you really want to like automate this, you will have to look into Houdini for this
Mm.
because Houdini has like a tool which lets you, not tool. They have like this thing called procedural dependency graph, which
Right.
basically you can tell it like this is a folder which is filled with images and load every single image, apply it to like a mesh and export the USD file. So it
Right.
will basically do it parallelly. But Blender itself doesn't have that sort of automation unless you are willing to like code some Python.
Mm. Yeah, I think for now I can just manually do it for however
Yeah,
many challenges I want to do.
right. Yeah. So I think for a proof of concept, you can do like manually maybe 10 mountains.
Yeah, yeah, I think that should be good.
Yeah.
And so you share that again. Is there a good way for me to represent a specific path in the 3D mountains that can represent like
Yeah.
your
So like
progress for the day?
right. Right. So again, like this is a very random mountain. So for example, let's just say we have this part, right? This would be one mountain, and you want to show like the progress, right? So are you asking like how to do that in programmatically, or how should it look like?
No, how visually how would it look?
Right. Wait. Let me just delete everything. Wait.
So we can probably create
So
like a square or something. Or just
yeah,
one
yeah. So
mountain.
for example, this is the mountain, and again, I'll have to actually mock it up in Figma for it to actually make sense. But since you have like this 3D data, you can maybe again have like a line, like actual 3D line that goes and actually snaps to the surface and kind of like follows through, and it could even like have some sort of like animation going where it like draws itself over and over again. So it shows that yeah, this is where you are, and you can even have like a 3D marker, kind of like the ones that you have in like Google Maps to show like
Right.
this is where you are, this is where your goal is, and you can have like that same flag we were talking about,
Mm.
and show like with a different color or with like a dotted line that this is the part that is still left. And then
Yeah,
on top of this, you can kind of like have all your health data and like maybe some charts. So for example, you can have like a pie chart which shows in one color that this is the amount of calories you have burned. You can have like some numbers there. right? And some like other more tiles maybe. So this would be like one. And this, if this is like your screen,
Mm.
again, very rough idea, but
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
pretty cool.
looking pretty good.
Yeah, and you can even like rotate this around it. Let me just yeah, you can rotate this and actually like show, or even like have like subtle movements like this.
Yeah, like a slow animation that's ongoing.
Yeah. Very slowly it's rotating in one side and then on the other side. And once like the user taps, you can like delete this information altogether, just zoom in on it, and then like really show the mountains, and they can even like rotate things around and see like where they are. And
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
like
that's
once,
really
once they're full screen, you can even like pop like those tooltips you were talking about.
cool.
So did you know some random fact about that mountain? So that would be really good. But I didn't record this part. I hope you got this.
Yeah, I hope so too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah. So that's one idea.
Actually, let me mock this up tonight. Can you go back to
Sure.
that tool, Tangrams GitHub?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Right now this is on the Himalayas.
I see. So do we enter the platform?
There should be an option actually, but
I think we can
I
directly add
don't.
it to like the URL,
Yeah,
right? At the top.
I believe so. Yeah, it shows it. Yeah, actually it shows it here. It also updates. So this
Yeah,
should be it actually.
it should be it.
The zoom level you can set, I think, right here. I think,
Hmm.
or not. No idea.
Yeah, I think even the zoom level is there in the
Right.
in
Oh,
the
there's a
URL.
render button. Okay, this is actually doing something.
So is it making a 3D asset?
Not 3D, but at least I think it's generating the texture. But oh, it did actually 7 MB. Wait, this is
PNG.
really helpful. Yeah, it is PNG. So texture, but still, it actually created that whole area
Hmm.
with like relative good precision. So
So is it same to the one we exported before?
yes, same. But I think this is much more high quality because
High
it's
quality.
stitched like multiple angles, or not angles, multiple like slices of the thing. So like a broader area and like a larger texture. And I'll have
Oh,
to play around with this to really see how it works. But
and
essentially, you need that like image to like generate the mesh. Generating the mesh should not be
right.
difficult. You can even do this in code, I believe.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Also, the current file that you have in Blender, if
Yeah.
we export that to USD, how much space would that be?
It can be again, like it depends on how dense your mesh is. So right now I have, for example, it should show the stats somewhere. Just 1 second. I have to enable those. Yeah, stats. So yeah, if you look into it, I have like 16,000 vertices, which is not a lot. If it's in millions, it's really high poly mesh. Then it can go like really large in size. So for example, if I try to export this, this shouldn't be more than like a megabyte or even less, I would say.
Oh, 1
You,
megabyte.
you need it, yeah, you need a
That's
GLB,
great.
right? So maybe
USD.
oh USD, right? I'm not sure how good the USD export on Blender is, but let me give it a go.
Yeah.
I also forgot to record again. But wait, 1 second. It is 1.5 MB. Yeah, not that much. But if you can get this data in real time again, to do it in code, you have to look into this thing called shaders. I'm pretty sure like Apple also allows it. So the specific one that you need is a fragment shader. Not a fragment shader, a vertex shader.
Oh, text shader.
Yeah. So uh, in OpenGL, it's called a vertex shader, I believe. Again, I'm not a graphics programmer, but this is just a very broad level knowledge I have.
Okay. I'll make a note of this.
Yeah. This is for when you want to like create these meshes on the fly. And it will
Like
be very
if
much
like
for
I want
point
to
as
use
well.
this image to create like the
Yeah,
3D
exactly. So
version.
you will not have to like save every single mesh as a separate file.
Got it.
And if you can find like some API which lets you, get these maps also on the fly, that will be like perfect in terms of like performance.
Yeah, that makes sense. It should make sense if you
Yes.
want to scale this.
Also, by the way, again, going back to the rewards all apart. So if you do flags, that will also save you creating the asset all the time because you just have to replace the textures of the cloth itself, and that will give you like a new flag. So that's very much easy for you to like add more medals or like add more as you like scale that. It will be very easy for you.
So you think it would be like I think a flag could
Yeah.
just be like a one 3D flag, and I can just
Yes.
keep changing the base color
Yes.
for it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Another base color, you can swap out the texture. So for example, like I showed you with the mountain example, I just loaded a texture which I just in front of you downloaded from that website. If I
Right.
swap that particular texture out for a different part of that map, it will just basically update the whole thing, right? So you have to do the same exact thing, but for not for the height maps, which actually displays your vertices, you have to just swap out the color all apart.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yeah. So it will just change the color, keep the same exact geometry, and you can even have like some sort of animation going off that like flag waving, and you can just swap out the textures and have like infinitely many rewards. And you can even have like 2, 3 different animations and randomly pick one every time someone gets it.
Yeah.
So there is like some variety. It's not like all the same. We can even do like actual flag shapes. So for example, some flags could be like triangular, some like proper square shape, some longer. So that could be like another variety. If simple flag feels like too bland of an idea.
So these flags would represent the mountains,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the mountains. If you're going that route, that the flags are different for every mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Or like an alternative option to that would be like the user who actually is like climbing that mountain. They have their own flag that they are metaphorically placing on top of that mountain. So in that case,
Yeah.
the user's logo should have to be on that flag. I guess again, it's an idea.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but
Yeah.
just not sure how I would.
Yeah. Again, but
represent
visually
it.
it will not look good to be honest.
Yeah.
Because people can upload their own photos, and photos and flags don't go well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to find Mount Everest on this map. That's awesome.
Did you
Yeah.
try putting it in the URL? The coordinates.
Okay.
Let me also try actually.
Yeah, sure. We get coordinates. Copy the report. 6.8, 3.4. So this max elevation, this should be in meters, right?
So right now it's an auto exposure. So I like just to explain what it's doing. I just notice this. So basically what it's doing is it's checking what the highest point in your particular view is, and it's also detecting what the lowest point is, and it's kind of mapping the whole range in like a 0 to 1 number, so that there is no like white clipping, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's just to
Right
make your
now,
the actual map that you'll export from this website. It will give you the full range of data, so you don't have to manually enter it. Is what I'm trying to say. If you turn that off, you can actually manually enter it.
actually,
Yeah,
from
I don't think
lines
we
and
need.
labels.
Yeah, lines and labels. If it bakes it in with the texture, I think we'll have some like issue with that.
Yeah,
When you're generating the mesh.
it's going to match the master base.
Yeah,
Turn it off.
right. Sure. Okay, another issue with the or another like problem to solve with this exact thing is how are you going to describe what the start and end point are going to be to like actually create a path.
I think we can't do like a real path. Maybe we can if we scrape
Yeah.
through some of the
But I think that's too
websites.
much work. Like
Yeah,
a
it's
lazy
so much
idea which
work.
I can give you is maybe for the mesh you can sample through all the vertices and see which one is like at the lowest, right? So
Right.
which one has the lowest y value, y axis value, right? And then find the one which has like the highest, and then create a path between the two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
I
would
think that
be
should be
one.
good.
Yeah. I'll try to mock this up in Blender.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Everest is not labeled on this map.
Yeah.
These two rivers.
Okay, I'll screen share and also record this process of me trying to do that pathfinding wala thing.
Sure.
Wait. You can keep doing what you're doing. I'll try to explain what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm basically taking this entire mesh. So this is called geometry nodes, by the way. It's kind of like a visual scripting almost for Blender.
Good.
So I'm taking that geo, I'm sampling every position and finding the minimum and the maximum, and kind of like placing a point there. So right now it has detected these two, which doesn't seem like the right answer because it should be somewhere right there and like maybe there for the lowest point.
Right.
Or if the setup can even help us. So for example, I can even have like a setup where you have like a plane, or you just have to basically download a image, give it that image, and it will do everything for you. It will generate the path, it will generate that like
The
mesh,
image.
and you just have to hit like export.
Got it.
So the only manual part will be you like hitting export button. So
Export button.
yeah, if the setup works out, this will be
This
like
will be
really helpful.
nice.
Yeah. Should I actually make that setup? The one where you have to like just swap out images.
Yeah, I think that should be really helpful.
Yeah, shouldn't take that long, but then again, that's like famous last words. Okay, I'll try to speed run this. So we need a grid. I will do 40 by 40 right now. We don't see anything because I haven't plugged anything. So this is how the grid looks like, and we need an image. So the image itself will not work. We have to load the one. And then what we need is image texture, which basically samples the image. And we want to sample it with some UV map. Alright, let me try to explain what's going on. Again, this is not necessary. If you have to absolutely like, do everything in code, this is how you will do it. So basically, I'm taking that image, which I can get from an API. I have to tell basically this image sampler which position I want to sample the data, right? So that comes from UV map. So UV map, as I explained you basically store for every point a 2D vector, which basically tells its UV position. Sounds very complicated. I'll give you another example in a new file maybe. Let me save this. So again, just to go over UV map real quick. Again, not a necessary information unless you're implementing 3D. So this is about a UV map for this monkey.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Yeah, I remember. If you
they're
open
kind
it
of
up
like
and make it
kind
into
of
a plane.
unfolded into a 2D. So in code, what it's doing is for every point, for every vertex, it is saving like a 2D position, which is in this. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, this is just a representation. You're just showing that 2D position in like a 2D space. But in code, it's basically a data structure.
So that's the UV map.
Yeah, that's the UV map. So since I created this mesh procedurally, this doesn't have a UV map yet. So I have to manually tell where like this what vectors basically to store on every point. So that again is easy.
So
We
we're
just
using
take the
the
position.
height
Yeah.
map to create a UV map.
No, we are using the position of every point in space. So right now, my grid size is basically 1 by 1 meter. So if I look at top view, x-axis where my position minimum is -5, -0.5 rather, right? -0.5. Maximum position is 0.5, right? And same for y-axis. Y-axis position really, this is -0.5 and this is +0.5.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I will map these to like a 0 to 1 range. So right now it goes from -0.5 to 0.5. I want it to go from 0 to 1. So it's basically like interpolation or less. So with this, I basically what I did is minus only range, so I have mapped to 0 to 1. So if I show it to you visually, this is how it will look like. This is my current position. Let me turn off the wireframe. Yeah. So you see this black part?
Right.
This is where the negative values are. And after that mapping shenanigan, I have everything non-black, which basically says that, yeah, everything is positive. And all these colors I can also explain. I'll show you the previous one first. So this red color basically is the x-axis component. So jump red is 0 and the color is black. And x component is 0, which you can see right here on this line. And as it increases, the red color also increases. Same for y-axis. Y-axis is negative right here in this area. That's why this color is black. And there is no like a third color that you're seeing. But right here, since x is 0, it only shows green here. But here, both colors overlap, so we get a yellow. Again, not a necessary thing. But yeah, we have a UV map now. I have sampled the texture. Now all I need to do is set the positions for every vertex of the color that I'm sampling at that point. So I'll just plug that into Z position. And I have this. Again, not a highly detailed mesh, so I'll just increase the divisions. And also, I think I need a math function. Not working that properly, to be honest.
Yeah.
The reason is the image is also not square, so it's kind of like squishing everything. So I'll just actually crop the image. Right, let me do that. Oh, I should pick this image also. So this is like very detailed. We want like just this part of it.
Oh, this is the one you got from.
Yeah, this is the one I downloaded from that. Yeah, that service. Okay, let me use the older one. I think this should be good to go. If it crops, that is, yeah. This is height mapper 5.4. Okay. Yeah, this one. So yeah, this is working now. But again, still very pointy. And the reason is I have this power function going on, which we don't need. And it's still like very, very high. So if to control the height, I'll just multiply whatever data I'm sampling. So I'll use a math mode, multiply the data with some like number lower than 1.
0.3, 0.4, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And this is looking very blocky right now, so I'll shade the whole mesh smooth. And now it's very much smoother. And now I can very easily, like, I'll just plug an integer value right here. So I can just change this value to have like more resolution in my mesh.
Got it.
So for example, 200 by 200, which is again still not the biggest. Like we still might not even cross like 100,000. Let me check. Yeah, we're 40,000 vertices right now, which isn't that much, to be honest. 160K. I think iPhones can easily handle that. And we still have like a very relatively dense mesh.
Yeah, I think
So again,
this is pretty good.
yeah, we have a modular setup now. You just have to plug the image there and you'll get the newer mesh very easily.
So this should work for
Yeah.
the actual 3D assets. And then I
Uh,
can try to
yeah,
call
you
the
just have to
solution
plug in.
which show the path.
Kind of. Yeah. No, so this is for you, for it to be easy for you to like make these meshes. You just have to plug an image there. I just expose that parameter for you. So you just have to load up an image and just yeah.
Nice. So you can send me this Blender file.
Yeah, I can send you this Blender file. Yeah, you just have to open the file, click an image there, a square image, and you'll have this mesh.
That's very cool.
Don't need to do anything fancy. I can do like a few more operations if that minimal thing works. I can even give you
The path.
a separate mesh, which basically gives you the highest and lowest points. So basically two vertices, which in code you can add like some sort of like a flag on that or like anything like that, right? And a third mesh could be like the path wala. So all this I can generate from this. I have to do that. Yeah.
For now, the mesh should be good.
This should be good.
Yeah, it should be good.
Okay.
I think what I'm thinking is
mhm.
this is a 3D mesh, right? What if
Yeah.
the actual mountains starts to be more visible as you progress more?
The actual mountain is visible. Okay.
So initially,
Yeah, I think that was
the top part could be completely black.
foggy, right?
Yeah, foggy
Oh,
or black, or it could have like clouds on top of it. I can easily make clouds using Reality Composer.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
as you progress, those clouds start to fade away. I think that would be a cool effect.
That would be actually very good. Another like a performant alternative I can give you is you can use position to like drive color. So I'll also mock it up real quick, right? On this file only. For example, right now I can assign it like a single color. So let's just do that.
But the problem with that, I think, is once I export it to like a USDC, right, I won't be able to edit it.
Yeah.
Because USDC is like.
Oh, achha, yeah, okay. In code you can't do much.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So in that case you'll need clouds. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I think the cloud idea is good.
Cloud idea is good. It seems to know that knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, the dotted line you can show like there's like a small bit of line visible to show like this is the remaining path you have to follow, and then everything else is like very foggy.
Yeah.
And on top of that you can show the stats, I guess. How will the clouds look like by the way?
So Graphic Composer has like a cloud generator function.
Right.
So very standard white colored foggy 3D mesh.
Okay, so got it. I'll have to actually see it to understand how that works. Is it like volumetric or is it just like images?
It's not images, like slightly animated.
Right.
Let me.
So I'll give an example in Blender only. Let me. So for example, a normal cloud will basically be like a small like plain image, right? And it will have just like a cloud image texture, transparent, and I can move it around and stuff, right? But a volumetric cloud kind of looks like this. Right? I'll only add it to.
Right. It would be volumetric. It would have all the 3 dimensions.
Yeah. So kind of like this. It might take a while to calculate.
Yes.
So you can see like I can go inside of it and it will actually blur my vision.
Correct. Exactly like this.
Right. Visually, this is what I was thinking for like fading out the peaks, but this looks very like dark. Not that visually interesting.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, let me just randomly add clouds everywhere, and
Yeah,
then
sure.
we can slowly dissipate it as the
Yeah,
progress goes. That should be the easiest.
I'll try to do the path wala thing.
Hmm. Yeah, no worries. Till then, you can just send me this Blender file. I can
Yeah.
start to export some, at least
Uh,
some mountains
yeah,
and get to
I'll make it
prototyping.
easy for you to do the thing. Wait, let me make it a little bit more modular. So if you have like rectangular textures, I'll try to make it so that it can like actually make it square or
Hmm.
just crop out from the middle. Okay, so this is done. I'll explain how this works. Uh,
Okay,
Okay. So this is the file. I have saved it like this only. Actually, let me
nice.
open the modify tab also. So what you have to do is you just import an image. It can be like square, it can be even rectangle. If it's like a rectangle image, it will only sample from the leftmost edge up to like a square.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. So you basically load up an image by dragging and dropping right here. And then you have to select the image that you loaded. So height mapper is the image ka name. It shows up right here. Right.
Nice.
And so I have also added like two controls. So you can make it low poly mesh by decreasing the amount of points you need. So 200 across, 200 along the length. And I can even make it lower if I want like a even lower quality mesh, or like go high if I want like a very dense mesh. Okay.
Got it.
And if you want to get rid of this wireframe wala overlay, it is right here. And you can see the actual mesh itself. And then there is like a
Nice.
height multiplier. So if you want to make it longer or like very subtle,
Hmm.
so this is like a
It's
overall
very cool.
multiplier. Yeah. So I just saved it. I will send you the file.
Awesome. This was very nice. Thank you so much for your help.
Yes, sir. No problem.